Okay, here we go with the Don's essay assessment task. So follow this video and you should be right when preparing for the final assessment task in this series of essays for the year. So the very first thing we need to do is understand the topic or the prompt as we know it and what it's asking us to do. So we've got to look at the key words and find synonyms for them. Become and better person. So we're looking at relationships and how those relationships with others help Paul become a better person. So we need to find synonyms. And when we're thinking of others, who are the others? Could be his mum, it could be Nonno, it could be Zia, it could be Dan, it could be his friend Bamir. Okay, so we'll be doing this in class. You'll be able to take some notes. In class you'll be given this particular document and you'll be we'll brainstorming this prompt together and working out what it's asking of us, and then starting to brainstorm our evidence. And remembering that evidence is in the form of what people say and what they do. So these are the actions of the characters, and these are their words. So obviously the words are going to be their quotes, quotes that we're going to use. And the reason we need these is to prove our contention. We need evidence. It's like an investigation. You're analysing something, but in order to prove it, you need to have your evidence. And that comes in the form of what the characters say and do. Now you'll be able to gather your evidence. A lot of it will be found in these chapter summaries that you guys did, that I've collated, and a lot of the evidence can be found here in the quotes of the various characters, and these were emailed to you. So your job is to go through these various chapters. There's only 20 of them. You don't have to read the whole book again in order to find relevant evidence to support your contention. Also, you will have the character traits document that was collated for you, following our main characters: Paul, Teresa, Tracy, Zia and Nonno. And they are there too. And this was emailed to you also. So you have a lot of resources in order to be able to collate your evidence and gather your evidence and find the very best evidence to support your contention. Once you have that, you're going to be writing your essay using this structure that we've used several times this year already. Following the recipe, that is the introduction, and if you follow this recipe, these steps, you can't go wrong really. And then the teal structure for your 1, 2, 3 body paragraphs. So you follow that teal structure. Your 3 main ideas are represented in body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and body paragraph 3. So there's the topic. In the prompt, there's some more information about your introduction. Questions to consider, and we will go through these in class, but which characters should you be discussing? Which do you think had the greatest influence on Paul and made him become a better person? What is their relationship with Paul? How do they help him become a better person? When do we see this in the text? So there's our evidence. How does Paul change due to the relationship with this person? Do they have a negative or a positive impact? And that's really important, because you could say, pick some of the characters who had a negative impact, and Paul learnt that he didn't want to be like them, he wanted to be better than them. And I can think of a couple of characters straight off who definitely had a negative impact on Paul and helped him realise what the right thing to do was. How does he react to what this person says or does? And in what ways does he help? Do they help him become a better person? So you've got to ask yourself these questions. So they're the big questions that will help you formulate your essay. Again, the introduction. No need to go through all that. The body paragraphs, following the teal structure that we've heard so many times this year. And the conclusion. So this is just another way of describing it. So you will have this, it will be familiar. You may choose to write on lined paper, but have this as a guide. So we've done that before. You've just had this by your side and you've written on lined paper, and that's fine. We're not going to use that structure. So a couple more tips to get you on your way. Some tips about using quotes. Do not just use phrases like "this quote explains." Do not rewrite or retell the story. I know that you know the story. You're trying to analyse it. So check these off that you're following these. It's critical that you never say us, we or I. Don't say I am going to tell you. This is a quote that I found. It's either the reader or ones or nothing at all. So watch your spelling, be specific, don't use slang or jargon unless it's part of a quote. And if you're going to make a statement about an issue in the book, you need to back it up with evidence and examples. So I think we've gone through this several times. This video hopefully will help you, and I look forward to seeing what you're able to produce. Hopefully you'll make incremental improvement from last time. A very good idea is to go back and look at the feedback you received for Dougie essay and the Book Thief essays to see the areas that you need to improve. Hopefully you haven't gotten rid of those. Have a look at the feedback and then see where you need to improve this time.